Hey there, welcome to day 7 of the 12 days of strategic planning. I'm Carla.
I'm Olivia.
Today we're going to talk about your brand, and specifically we're going to do a brand audit.
Yes.
Audit is such a corporate term.
It is.
I feel kind of bad, but also it's kind of like, okay, but really?
It's our way of being harsh without being harsh.
Yeah.
You know, like we really need to do this. You need to take it seriously, but also we love you. So I think before we start, we need to kind of talk about brand for a second and just highlight that this is less brand in terms of like the physical representation of what it is that you do.
There you go.
And more reflecting on the sort of emotional, connective
Yes.
portion
Right.
of what it is that you do.
Yes.
Which obviously those things then influence what your brand looks like.
Precisely.
Yes.
Yes.
But it's important to first understand
Yeah.
how you connect with
Right.
your audience from, kind of that emotional standpoint. Okay.
And so essentially what this audit does is walks you through a few questions about like, who are you doing all of this work for? Why are you doing it? And specifically, what is it that you do? So that you can create what we call a statement of intention, which is, if we're being honest, it's basically a vision statement smashed up with a mission statement.
Yeah.
But that sounded too corporate for us.
Again, this was our way of understanding that the mission statement was important, but kind of thinking about it from a different lens. You know, the way that you frame things can really impact the result.
It's true.
Even if it is virtually the same idea.
Yeah.
So really our whole goal behind this was to come at it from more of a creative standpoint rather than the corporate standpoint. But we should say that this is for you regardless of whether you are a creative in business. I would say if you're a small business owner of any kind, this should make a difference for you.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Because essentially what it does is lays a foundation for the future of your business, right? You're establishing, and maybe you might already have something like this, in which case that's great. But if you don't, this is an awesome opportunity to write down in one succinct sentence what it is that you do, who you do it for, and why you do it. This is what you come back to halfway through the year when the train is off the tracks and you're not feeling it anymore.
Yeah.
And you forgot why you wanted to do this stuff in the first place. Okay, you come back to your statement of intention that says, I'm doing this for these people because I feel like it's really important to do X, Y, or Z.
And I would just also say that a lot of us think we know what we're doing, right? Like a lot of us are like, oh, well, I do this thing. It's obvious. I create this product, or this is the thing that I do. It's how I live my life. But being forced to write one sentence that captures your entire existence as a business is a lot harder than it seems. And I think that's why it's so important to, like, you don't have any wiggle room. This is a time when you're sort of forcing yourself to say, no, this is exactly what it is that I do. And while there might be room for this to grow and change as your business grows and changes, for sure, I think having something concrete to at least, again, that foundation to kind of bounce from is really important.
Yeah. So, like Olivia mentioned earlier, like you're right here. I don't need to talk about you like you're in the third person. Like you mentioned earlier, these are the kinds of things the statement of intention can influence the way your business looks, right? Like your actual visual representation, your branding,
right?
Your visual identity,
Yep.
Which is helpful. You know, one of those categories in the business breakdown is your brand. You know, thinking about the stylistic elements of your brand, your colors, your logo, all those kinds of things. But also making sure that like your vision aligns with, like you mentioned earlier, exactly what you're doing. Am I just repeating the things that you've already said?
No, I think you're reframing them in a different way, so that I think hearing it a different way is helpful.
Okay.
So yes, absolutely. Making sure that all those aspects kind of line up together. And, you've already done the business breakdown. You've completed that. And so you've kind of said, you've detailed everything that it is that you do on a day-to-day basis. And now it's kind of taking all of those pieces and melding it into one one idea, one thought, one vision, one mission. Okay, yes, I send emails all day, every day. I have coffee calls. I do X, Y, or Z. This is how I work with the people, who are within my business. This is how I work, and communicate with those outside of my business, my audience, whoever. Now focusing on, okay, putting all of those things together. What is it that you do? Why? Why do you do this? Why does anybody care? Why do you care? Why do you get up every morning, right? No pressure. What is it that you do? Why? And who for? Yeah.
Well, it'll be important later on, too, when you're deciding what it is that you want for the upcoming year. You'll have something to refer back to be like, okay, this project would be really cool, but does it align?
Yeah.
Does it align? Yeah.
That's the question.
And
that can really honestly be so helpful. We're all thrown different opportunities within any given year. There are so many different choices and decisions that we can make, but coming back to this one idea can just be so helpful to say a quick yes or no to certain things that you might be mulling over and really having a hard time deciding. Yeah. Sometimes all it takes is looking back at the statement of intention and saying, well, no, it just doesn't make any sense. Even though this is a really cool opportunity and I think it would be awesome, it just doesn't really align with what I'm trying to accomplish. So oftentimes it can make those decisions a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Brand audit.
Awesome.
Day
7.
Day 7.
Yeah.
Okay, 12 days of strategic planning. We're coming back to you tomorrow with day 8, thinking about your 10-year and your 5-year vision. And a big, hairy, audacious goal, which I'll just say right now, we're not the first person to talk about it.
No.
We didn't invent this idea, but it's a cool one, so we're going to repeat it for, I think it was Jim Collins, the one who created it.
All right.
See you tomorrow.
Check back in. Thank you so much for tuning in to the 12 Days of Strategic Planning series. Whether you've been tuning in to the videos or to the podcast, we so appreciate your support. If you want to connect further, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at heytherecreative.co. You can find us on our website, heytherecreative.co. Or you can search Hey There Creative on Etsy to find our shop.